Now, this is the first video I've done on the subreddit r/idontworkherelady. I'm pretty sure you can guess what's gonna be in it, judging by the name. It's gonna be interesting, and let's get on with it. My dad just wanted clean plates. To preface this story, my dad is in his 60s, grew up in a small town in a small country in an orphanage. So if his worldviews come up a bit off in this story, it's because they are more than a bit off. But here goes. My dad's birthday had come around and he had chose a Chinese buffet for the family birthday dinner. So myself, two stepsisters, stepbrother, brother, stepmother, step-grandparents, and two other couples all headed to a small back street Chinese all-you-can-eat. The sort of place where they just dish the food out in bulk in a central area in the restaurant and you top up your plate as you wish. Unlike most buffet places we've been to, this one didn't have the stack of fresh clean plates, and an elderly Chinese gentleman did the occasional lap of the tables, swapped dirty empty plates for clean plates, went back to the corner, sat on a chair, crossed his arms, and closed his eyes for 10 minutes before doing another lap. This is where the problem began. It had been a while since new plates had been delivered, and for most of us, it wasn't a problem, we just kept on using the same plates. However, Dad decided he wanted a fresh plate as his was covered in one flavor sauce he didn't want anymore. He took a look at the sleeping gentleman in the corner, decided against waking up, and grabbed the next passing Asian gentleman to walk past by the arm. The conversation went as follows. Hey mate, can we please grab some fresh plates? No. He started waving his hands in front of him. What do you mean no? I just need a clean plate. No, sorry. No need to be sorry, mate. I just want an extra plate. Sister. Dad, I don't think so. It's alright, I've got this. Can we please have some fresh plates? But no. The poor man is now flustered as not only can he not get his message across due to the language barrier, he also can't get a word in over my father's urgency for a clean plate. Just grab us some bloody plates, mate, it's not that hard. I'm like you. No, you bloody aren't. Yes, like you. If you were like me, mate, you get your job down and grab us some plates. By this point, several of us had picked up what the Asian man was putting down, but either couldn't get a word in or chose to sit back and let my dad make an idiot of himself. Finally, the poor man managed to shout out over Dad with, "I'm customer!" This had the entire table in stitches as Dad meekly apologized, told him he thought he worked there, and turned to us to ask why nobody had pointed that out. The man smiled, waved at us all, and proceeded to head to his table where I'm sure he had a great time explaining to his wife why he couldn't get back to the table earlier. The icing on the cake was Dad finding a young Asian girl walking past stating, "I'll ask her," as if he'd solved the problem, as my stepmother shouted over him, "Sit down, she's got a plate of lemon chicken." Turns out my dad's real name might be Karen. I love dads. They're truly the funniest part of the family. She started at an 8, then went to 11 real quick. To set the scene, a well-known athletic shoe store is having its annual big sale with 40% off regular price shoes and an additional 50% off already marked down clearance. My husband works a physical job, has foot problems, and this particular brand of shoes keeps his pain to a minimum. He does go through shoes quickly due to the miles he puts on them and what he walks through as he does, so we always watch for this sale to stock up. He's also a smaller guy. He's 40 and covered in tattoos, but with a baby face and shorter than me by half a foot, he wears a men's size 7, which is sometimes in the kids section and is sometimes the smallest in the men's section. This year he also got hurt at work, so his dominant arm is in a sling and he is struggling doing simple tasks, such as putting on and tying his shoes, shaving and such. He's currently sporting about 4 days of unshaven face. It should also be noted that this takes place in winter, about a month ago now, in New England. We are dressed for winter, with me in a large coat with fake fur trim and a winter hat. Our one mistake was sleeping in on a Saturday, and then going to the store which was an hour drive away. When we got there, the place was a disaster. The few employees that weren't on the register were running around wildly trying to help people. All of the outside walls of the store had been stocked with clearance, along with some of the aisles, but there are boxes of shoes all over the floor from people just leaving them behind instead of putting them back. I find one of the seats in a corner to sit my husband in. Due to his height, he often gets bumped into by people not paying attention, and with his injury, that would cause him a lot of needless pain / additional injury. He hates being effectively babied like this, but, well, he has no choice at the moment. I then enter the fray, pulling as many different pairs of shoes in his size/styles I know he likes as I can find, and then bringing the lot back to him. I then help him try them on, as one would by putting them on his feet, helping him tie them, etc. While I help him, we talk about where we might go for lunch and our dog's recent behavior, peppered with comments about the shoes. He picks 3 pairs on clearance and I go to put the rest back on the shelves. As I turn around, I come face to face with a woman who, along with her female adult companion and their multiple children, have been relishing in making the mess bigger. She is snarling at me and barks, "Finally!" with an exasperated sigh as she plops herself on a seat. "Now I need 4 pairs of pink sneakers in this style." She holds up her foot. "From clearance, in sizes," lists 4 sizes, "women's." Yeah, even finding 1 pair of pink shoes in any size was unlikely. This is clearance. The ugly shoes are the ones left. Sorry, I don't work here, but I think the ladies section is— "Oh, lies! I just watched you help that kid over there." Points to my husband. "Where the hell is your mother anyway?" Seriously, lady? Even if he was 12 or something, he could buy shoes alone. Also, if you really think he's a kid, why isn't your next assumption that I'm his mother? Of course my husband gets really embarrassed, and as he tends to be quite shy, looks down and turns red. Yeah, that's my husband, and I go walk around her. "Don't you lie to me. If he was, why the hell would you be putting his shoes on like that?" I look back at my husband and we make a "what the hell, this lady's nuts" face at each other. I roll my eyes, and at this point I chose to ignore her. Before changing careers, I worked retail for 20 plus years, all the way up to store manager. 60 to 70 hours a week dealing with crazy customers sent me back to school, and now I work a 9 to 5 in a nice, quiet cube farm. I am no longer paid to placate people like her. Apparently my ignoring her angers the beast, and as I reach up to put a box on the shelf, I am yanked backwards by the neck. She is pulling on the hood attached to my coat. I trip on a box that is on the floor, spin around wide-eyed, and before I can say a word, she screams in my face, "Get me the shoes I want now!" Suddenly, a wild manager appears, drawn by her screaming, and runs up. "Hi ladies, can I help you with anything today?" "I want this rude idiot fired. I don't work here." I walk back over to my husband, who is now standing and trying to control his anger, and grab the stack of 3 boxes that he has selected off the floor. We go turn, walk away, and in an instant, she has stormed over and knocked the boxes out of my hands, directly into him and his slinged arm. He screams in pain, clutching his arm, and my attention goes immediately to him. When I look back up, the manager has moved in between the lady and us, and she is yelling about how I'm a liar. The manager is trying to see if my husband is okay, and we are just trying to leave the situation before anything else happens. The manager gives a half smile, helps me pick up the boxes, and we walk towards the lengthy register line. As we wait at the front, we can still hear her tirade, and then the most beautiful sign of police officers entering the store appears. The woman is soon after escorted out of the store by the officers. The funny part to us is that her companion and her herd of children, from the very start of the confrontation, had pretended not to know her, even though they had obviously connected before then. They stayed in the store and continued shopping as she was brought out. We did have to make a small statement to the officers, but I don't know what happened to her afterwards, and we didn't press any personal charges. After talking with the cops, the manager did bring out a purchase personally, and scanned an additional discount card. We ended up with 3 pairs of shoes for $40. That's just ridiculous, honestly. If the person says they don't work here, you don't demand them to find shoes they probably can't find either. It doesn't work like that. My friend thought my dad was her Uber driver until he freaks her out. This is kinda my story and also kinda my dad's. Also, I'm on mobile, so apologies for that. Here's the context. I was at my best friend's house until pretty late, celebrating his birthday. We had gone ice skating in the morning, then went back to his place to hang out. As we were finishing up, his mum insisted on calling an Uber for one of my other friends who had taken the bus to get here. The Uber gets called and the vehicle description is a blue car of some sort. The Uber arrives and the friend leaves. Around the same time she walks out the door, I get a text from my dad saying he's here. My dad also has a blue car. Now here's the actual story. My dad was waiting for me to get out of my house. My friend hops in the back seat. My dad has met this friend before, so he starts trying to make small talk, assuming I offered her a ride home and forgot to tell him. He asks how her day was, then asks about how the party went. My friend is a little freaked out and responds, "Fine." He asks specifically about how ice skating went, and now my friend is really confused and freaked out, and asks, "Are we waiting for someone?" in a bit of a panic. My dad, confused, says, "Well, yeah, I'm waiting for my son. Did you call an Uber or something?" It finally clicks to my friend that she got into the wrong vehicle. We tease her about this still sometimes, and my dad still brings it up every now and then. Not the funniest story in the world, but I thought it was worth sharing. Oh my gosh, I could just imagine how embarrassed I would feel. That'd be so humiliating. Well guys, that is the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated if you could do so. Also, down below in the description, I've got my merch links, social media links. It'd be cool if you could check those out. Maybe even give me a follow on Twitter, Instagram, you know, buy some merch. Whatever you feel like it. Also, a big thank you to all my Patreon supporters. I don't expect you to support me over there, but if you would like to, it's greatly appreciated. I do support it. Thank you to everyone who does already. My link is www.patreon.com/GioFilms, and the link will be in the description. But with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.